right, today we're going to be doing systems of equations by substitution. Let's go ahead and get started with number 7 on the classwork. All right, for number 7, I've got y equals x plus 3. And I've got negative 4x plus 2y is equal to 14. So a system of equations is going to be 2 or more equations. 2 or more equations. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be substituting. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to underline the x plus 3. We're going to underline the x plus 3 right here. Now, it's important to understand that y is equal to x plus 3. What that means is y and x plus 3 are the same thing. So wherever you see a y in the bottom equation, we're going to replace that with an x plus 3. Kind of like that. So go ahead and draw an arrow from your line to your y on the bottom. Okay, so now my bottom equation is going to be negative 4x plus 2y. But instead of writing a y, we're going to put in x plus 3. And it's all going to be equal to 14. So the only thing that I did was I took this x plus 3 right here, and I put it where y should be, right here. So now what you'll notice is the y is completely vanished, and it's been replaced by an x plus 3. So now what we can do is we can do the distributive property. So I'm going to draw an arrow from the 2 to the x on the inside and to the 3 on the inside. We're going to multiply everything by 2. So the negative 4x is going to come down. If I multiply 2 times x, I'm going to get 2x. And if I multiply 2 by 3, I'm going to get 6. And everything is still equal to 14. Okay, so we're almost done. I just need to get x by itself somehow. Notice that we have like terms right here. Right. This negative 4x and this positive 2x are like terms. That means we can put them together. So negative 4x plus 2x is going to give me negative 2x. And then I'm going to add 6 to get 14. And then I'm going to come over here on the right side since I'm running out of space. Okay, so I've got negative 2x plus 6 is equal to 14. I'll just write that out up here. Now, I've got to get x by itself now. So how can I get rid of this plus 6? You can subtract 6 from both sides, right? I'll go ahead and do that. The good thing about that is the 6 and the negative 6 are going to cancel out. So I can cross them out like this. And then 14 minus 6 on the other side is going to give me 8. And I've still got the negative 2x over here. So now, how can I get x by itself? I would have to divide both sides by what? A negative 2, right. You should get negative 4. Good. I'm going to cross out the negative 2's.
So is that the answer?
That will be the answer for x.
So where did the 4x, negative 4x plus 2y come from? Equals 14.
Well, these two equations are going to be part of your problem. So they're going to tell you the two equations on the paper. And all I'm doing is I'm taking this x plus 3 and I'm putting it in for y. So now I know that x is negative 4, but now I have to figure out what y is. To do that, all I have to do is substitute back in. I can either use the top equation or the bottom equation. It really doesn't matter which one I choose. And since the top one looks a little bit easier, I'm going to use the top equation. So let me write it out. Y equals x plus 3. And I'm going to be using x equals negative 4 for this. So in place of x, I'm going to put a negative 4. And if I add 3 to that, I'm going to get y equals negative 1. So let me circle my x value and my y value. X is negative 4, y is negative 1. So when I write my ordered pair, I'm going to put the x value first and then the y value second. And that's going to be my answer. You're always going to have an x value and a y value. Okay, let's try number 9 next. All right, so for number 9, they give me y equals 5x plus 3. Y equals 5x plus 3. And the bottom equation is going to be 7x plus 7y equals negative 21. So I'm given two equations for this one. I've got a top equation and a bottom equation. The top equation tells me what y is. Y is 5x plus 3. So I'm going to underline the 5x plus 3 like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 5x plus 3 and I'm going to put it in for y down here. So I'm going to draw an arrow from the 5x plus 3 to the y down here. So basically, y is going to get replaced by 5x plus 3. And I'll show you how I do that at the bottom. So I've got 7x plus 7y. In place of y, I'm going to put 5x plus 3. I'll do it in red. And then I'm going to close up the parentheses like this. And everything is going to be set equal to negative 21, just like it is on the bottom equation. So what I did here was I substituted the 5x plus 3 in for y. So the 7x stays the same, the 7 out in front stays the same, but y has been replaced by 5x plus 3, because I know that y is equal to 5x plus 3, right? And then the negative 21 is still the same. So now let's distribute. We're going to take the 7 on the outside. We're going to distribute it to everything on the inside. And I'll use yellow for this. So we're going to multiply 7 by 5x and by 3. And then we'll be on our way to figuring out what x is. So I've got a 7x. I'll bring that down. Plus 7 times 5x. That's going to be 35x. 7 times 3, that's 21, right? And we're still equal to negative 21. Okay, so what you'll notice is we have like terms again. We got this 7x right here. I'll underline it. And we have a 35x that I will also underline. These are like terms because they both end with an x, right? And we can put them together. So what's 7x plus 35x? 42x, good. And everything else stays the same. So we still got the plus 21 equal to negative 21. Okay, so now let's solve this for x. I'm going to subtract 21 from both sides. That way we can get the x by itself eventually. If I put these two numbers together, I'm going to get negative 42. I'm going to bring down my 42x, my equal sign, and then of course the positive 21 and the negative 21 are going to cancel out. So they're gone. So now what's the only thing I have left to do to get x by itself? Yep, divide by 42. So when I divide by 42, what did you get for x?
21. Negative 21. Oh, wait, hold on. Negative 1.
Negative 1. Good. So that's my x value. To find my y value, I've got to plug back in. And you can either use the top equation, which is usually the easiest, or you can choose the bottom equation. So I'm just going to rewrite the top. Y equals 5x plus 3. And I'm going to let x be what I just found, that negative 1. 5 times negative 1 plus 3. Let's see what that is. Five times negative 1 is negative 5. If I add that to 3, what do I get? Negative 2. Yep.
You got to finish off this thing trying to rip into my paper.
I'll help you out in a minute. But that's going to be my answer. Negative 1, negative 2. Yeah, I think this one will work better.
I'll just take it.
Yeah, you did, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you after the classwork, and I'll get you all caught up.
See, what day did I?
Yeah, last week. Okay. We're going to do one more together. Let's do number 3 on the classwork. Yeah, I will at the end. But let's all do number 3 together. Okay, so I've got y equals 5x minus 7. And then on the bottom, I'm going to have negative 3x minus 8y is equal to 13. This will be the last one we do together. So I know what y is. Y is 5x minus 7. I'm going to underline that. Y and 5x minus 7 are the same thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that in for y on the bottom. So I'm going to put it right here. So I've got negative 3x on the bottom minus 8. In place of y, I'm going to put 5x minus 7. And everything is going to be equal to 13.
Oh, I know what it was. How about
I'll get you after this. Okay. So this one's a little bit trickier because I'm multiplying everything by negative 8. I'm going to multiply the 5x by negative 8, but I'm also going to multiply the negative 7 by negative 8. And we'll see what happens when we get that. So the negative 3x is going to come down. Negative 8 times 5x is going to give me negative 40x. Negative 8 times negative 7 is a positive 56. So what you'll notice now is we have x terms that can be put together. So I'm going to underline the negative 3x and the negative 40x, and we're going to put those two terms together. So negative 3 minus 40, that's going to give me negative 43x. So it'll look like this. But I've also got that plus 56 that I need to bring down. And my 13. Okay. So what can I do to get rid of the plus 56? Yeah. I can subtract 56 from both sides. What that's going to do is it's going to get rid of the plus and the minus. And it's only going to leave me with a negative 43x. So I'm going to bring that down. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 13 minus 56. That's going to be a negative number, right? So if I take 13 away from 56, you're going to get negative 43. Yep. And I'll put that at the top up here. So there's really only one more thing to do, and that's to divide both sides by negative 43. And then I'll figure out what x is. Yes, positive 1. That's going to be my x value. Now for the y value, I'm going to have to plug back in. So I'm going to use the top equation, y equals 5x minus 7. And I'm going to plug in my x value that I just found out. I know that x is going to be 1. So I'm going to let this x be 1 right here and see what happens. So in place of the x, I put a positive 1. 5 times 1 is going to give me 5. And then 5 minus 7 is going to give me negative 2. My x value always comes first when I do these ordered pairs. So the x is going to be right here. And then the y value always comes second. So for every single one of these, you're going to be finding an x value and a y value.